Hi everyone, and welcome to the Knit California podcast. My name is Leslie. I am a knitter, crocheter, spinner, yarn enthusiast, pattern designer in Southern California, and this is episode 29 of my 2024 podcast series. I'm excited to be back with you today. I took a week off from filming a podcast last weekend, so we have a lot of updates to talk about. I have 5 knitting projects in front of me, a little bit of spinning, the first time in a while, plus my usual what I'm reading, reminders, chat at the end of this video. Before we get into it, just another reminder. Yes, I know there's a glare on my glasses from the window. The chair, okay? I know I've been talking about the chair that's coming from my craft room for the last 2 months now, maybe. I got an email that the chair has arrived. So now I am just waiting for a text message telling me that they are going to deliver the chair. Once I get the chair, it's gonna go right here. This is gonna be the background. I'll be facing this way. There won't be a glare anymore. But for now, this is the best background, so you got a little bit of something behind me, and it's not just like a boring wall. That is pink, but when it's just that, it doesn't look pink, so. Anyways, I know, I'm sorry about it. Hopefully next week it will be gone, but we'll see. Okay, let's dive right into it. I have a finished object to talk to you about, so let's talk about my California sweater. This is the California sweater. The design is by yours truly, Knit California, me. And this is my second sample that I have been working on for about a month. I believe last week I was halfway through, 2 weeks ago, I was halfway through the first sleeve, and like I said, now it's a finished object, so the whole thing is done. Yay! It's blocked, it's washed, it looks fantastic. I am so excited about it. I am gonna do a whole video about this. I really should film that today or tomorrow so that it can go up next week when the pattern launches. I can't believe the pattern is finally going to be available. It hasn't been a long road since I started this, but there were a few weeks, you know, in the middle of the test period where I talked about this in the last episode. We had a little bit of issue with the grading for the sleeves, and I'm just so glad that we have worked through that, and I think the sleeves look really great for all sizes, from the extra small to the 5XL. They have been tested, although just to note, the 5XL has not been tested. I didn't get any test knitters for the 5XL, so that will be noted on the Ravelry pattern page. And of course, now that I'm playing around with this, I'm getting mohair all over me. Let me talk to you about the yarn combo. So for this sample, this is my second sample, I used the Knitting for Olive Merino in the color Soft Blue, held with the Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the colorway Dusty Aqua. And they marled together really nicely, I think. You can definitely see both colors, I think, in the fabric. And what is so special about this pattern, it's a drop shoulder, and it's the fingering plus the lace weight yarn held together and knit on a larger needle size. So for me, I knit this on a 6.5 millimeter. I believe that's a 10.5 US size. I'll double check that. Some of my testers went down to a 6 millimeter US 10 because they have looser gauge than I do, looser tension, which is fine. But when you knit this fabric at that large gauge, it becomes very much like an open texture. It's really quick to knit, and I think it's just really fun overall. I've talked about this a few times, but my inspiration for this sweater was the Lento pattern. That is a raglan shaping open gauge sweater. Similarly, you hold 1 strand of fingering weight, 1 strand of lace weight on larger needles. And I was really looking for something, I wanted to knit myself, something very similar, but that was a drop shoulder shape instead of a raglan. I didn't find anything on Ravelry, so I have created it. And now it's here, and it's gonna be available to purchase the pattern and knit it up next week. So, a couple differences from this sample versus my first sample. I did lengthen the neckline by a few rows, so it's a little bit longer. I think it's like 1/2 inch longer compared to my first sample. I have it right here, I might as well show you. You can see the neckline on this version is a little bit smaller compared to this one. Well, let's see if I can hold both at the same time. There we go. Can you tell? They look kind of similar actually, but the purple pink one, the neckline is a little bit shorter compared to the blue one. And then you won't be able to tell just from me holding it, but I did add like 1 inch of length to the body on this one also, and I really like the way that that fits when I'm wearing it. I'm not going to put this on right now because it's literally like 105 degrees outside. If you are also in the US and going through this gnarly heat wave, stay safe out there, guys. It's even in the air conditioning, it's like the heat is just like permeating into the house and into everything. It's wild. So I really do not want to be putting a mohair sweater on my body right now. If you're in a place where it's like 60 degrees Fahrenheit or less today, I'm really jealous, okay? Because this heat wave is supposed to last like another week at least, which is ridiculous. Anyways, while I have my purple sweater here, pink purple, I will tell you this was the first sample that I knit, and I knit this with Golden Hour Knitwear yarn. The colorway name is just pink purple. We didn't come up with another colorway name. She dyed this up specially for my California sweater, and she is going to have kits in this color and I think like 3 or 4 other colorways as well that she's working up, and these should be available next week along with the pattern launch as well. This is a merino yarn held with a Surrey lace weight yarn. And one of the things that I did notice between knitting with the 1 strand of Surrey as the lace weight versus 1 strand of mohair as the lace weight is that the Surrey, because the like fluffiness of the Surrey is longer than the fluff that's on the mohair, the Surrey really fills in the gaps between your stitches a lot more compared to the mohair. So like when I wear it, when I wear these, the blue one that has the mohair is slightly more see-through compared to this one with the Surrey, and it is due to the fibers and how they like work up more than it is due to the color. I mean, this is a lighter color, but I don't really think that's what's doing it. So just keep that in mind. Like, I do think that the best yarns to knit this up in, this sweater, would be a fingering weight plus a Surrey lace weight. If you want to go with the mohair, you only have mohair, like that's totally fine, but just know that the gaps between the stitches are not going to fill in as much with the mohair versus with the Surrey. Okay. Like I said, I am planning on making a whole separate video about this. I'm going to go into the sizing and the details, how my sweater grew in blocking, which was expected, the gauge, the knitting experience, all of that stuff. So if you are interested in knitting this, first of all, thank you. I can't wait. And stay tuned for that video next weekend, okay? Or this weekend, I guess, when you're watching it. Because this will come out Tuesday, and then pattern's going to come out like Friday or Saturday, so got a lot to do before then. Okay, that is my California sweater. I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys are as well. And let's move on and talk about my next whip, the stripe pipe sweater. Okay, I am knitting, look at my fun project bag. I'm knitting the stripe pipe sweater by Veronika Lindberg. She's at Kutova Kika on Instagram and YouTube. I have made very little progress on this since the last time you saw it. When you last saw this, I said I'm gonna put this on pause for a little bit because I wanted to start working on a second stripe pipe with my Ireland Memories colorways so that I could get that done and cranked out before I go to Ireland. I have decided that I am not going to knit that sweater now. I was really like working myself up and putting too many expectations on myself, and I wasn't excited about knitting it at all. I was like really dreading casting it on, and I was like, this is not the place that I want to be in, especially with this yarn that I'm really excited about. And I think part of the reason was also just like casting on another stripe pipe sweater. I have realized recently that I am not a huge fan of knitting the same sweater like back to back twice in a row. This happened with my California sweater sample. I was just like so not excited to knit the second one at all. I finally pushed through. I basically took it on vacation with me, and I was like, this is the only thing I'm bringing, you have to work on it. And I did. But like feeling like I had to do that again like right after finishing the California sweater with the stripe pipe was just like really not a great place for me to be in. So I took that burden off of myself. I said I'm not going to knit the Ireland sweater stripe pipe. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna bring all of the colorways to Ireland so that I can like, you know, take photos and videos and, you know, make promo for that collection. But that means that like right now this is my only sweater whip that I have on the needle. A whole lot of progress, but so this week was also like really crazy busy for me, and so one of the nights after work I was like, I just need something basically mindless to work on while watching TV and relaxing. So I pulled this out and I did maybe like 5 rows of ribbing on the bottom, but hey, it's progress. And this is like back in rotation, so I wanted to show you, you know, make sure you don't forget about my amazing stripe pipe sweater. So this marker is in the wrong place. I was, you know, literally like right here, okay? So it's not like a whole, you can see all my fun stripes. And I will tell you about the yarn that I'm using for this. Okay, so this is Dusty Yarn Co. and it's her classic DK base. This color is Dry Heat. This is the main color that I'm using. It's this light blue. And it's a 100% superwash merino wool, 246 yards per 100 grams. And all of the colors that I'm using are from her Palm Springs collection, which is still available on the website. I purchased all of the yarn that is in this sweater, but I am an affiliate with Dusty Yarn Co. So if you're interested in any of these colors, you can find my affiliate link in the description box down below. Okay, so Dry Heat is the blue, is the main color. This pink is called Bachelorette. This is a dark teal blue. It's called Reservation Only. And then the yellow is called Vintage, okay? And then there are 2 more colors that I'm going to use on the sleeves. And this lovely brown is called Mid-Century, and the green is called Top Shelf. And yeah, this is the same color that my Palm Springs tank is knit out of. Different base, but same color. So Isn't that gonna be so fun? It's gonna look so good. I can't wait. So hopefully I can finish the body here soon. I don't know, this is half twisted ribbing, and it's like, feels like it's taking forever. The pattern says to knit 3 inches of this. I think I'm gonna do 2. I think that'll look better, just more my style, and be the right length for where I want it to be. So I think I'm maybe at like 1.5. I don't know, I should measure this. I kind of want it to be like, I think each stripe is about 1 inch. So I want to do like 2. So yeah, I've got a little bit more to go. Not a whole lot, but a little bit more to go. And I finished at a great spot because I'm like right at the end of a ball of yarn. So I need to wind up my next main color and continue on. So that's the update on my stripe hype. I would love to finish this before Ireland. I do think I can get 2 sleeves done in the next 3 to 4 weeks. It's coming up real quick, guys. I'm so excited. But yeah, that's my stripe hype, okay? Okay, let's move on. I've got 2 whips that you haven't seen yet. And I'm really excited to share them with you. So let me talk to you first about my Dewdrops Cowl. Okay, if you watched Rachel from Rachel is Knitting's maybe 2 podcasts ago, she titled it "I'm a Cowl Girl Now," and of course my brain read that as "I'm a cowgirl now." And I was like chatting with her before I had watched the full episode, and she was talking about her cowl, and I was like, oh, that's what your video title was. You're a cowl girl, not a cow girl. Anyways, I'm a cowl girl now too, because I have casted on Rachel's cowl test knit. Okay, this is the Dewdrops Cowl. There is also a Dewdrops headband, both of them in test. And for both patterns, there is a DK weight option and a worsted weight option. I am knitting the DK weight cowl. The yarn that I'm using is Sewrella yarn. This is her 2-ply fingering weight. I think this is a merino nylon blend, and the color is Central Perk. So it was from the Knitflix collection, because this is Friends themed Central Perk, and it's this gorgeous purple. I love the purple so much. And I'm holding it, I have 1 skein of this, so I'm pulling from the inside and the outside to hold the yarn double for a DK weight, because this is a fingering weight skein. Okay, anyways, here's my cowl. I have done about 30 rows. I need to get to like 50 something, so I'm more than halfway. And it's this really fun lace pattern with the like yarn overs that like are in a slanting pattern, and so Rachel named it Dewdrops because they look like dewdrops falling down like a leaf or something. So it's really fun. And she is marketing the pattern as reversible, because as you're knitting it, this is the right side, but if you look at the wrong side, like this is really nice as well. It looks really pretty. So I'm really excited to like finish this and block it, because this is gonna like really open up and just be so beautiful when it's finally done. Right now it kind of just looks, you know, all scrunched together. But yeah, it's going really well. And so this is gonna be my little neck accessory in Ireland as well. We're both gonna have, and I think there's a couple other people testing the pattern who are going to Ireland, but we're gonna have our California sweaters, and we're gonna have our Dewdrops cowls, and I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be so fun. I've never knit a cowl before. This is my first cowl. I don't think I've ever worn a cowl in my life either, but you know what? I'm going to now because it's Rachel's pattern. So I'm really excited about it. I will keep you updated. I'm not sure when the pattern is scheduled to be released, but I'll keep you posted, obviously, for when it is. So, and hopefully that'll be a finished object within the next 2 weeks also. And I'm keeping it in my new Black Pearl Magic bag that I got from Flock. Isn't it so cute? Checkerboard, smiley faces. I love it. I love it. Okay. I've got one more like main whip, and then I've got another knitting project and then spinning. So let's talk next about my socks. Yes, you heard that right. I'm knitting socks. Okay, I'm knitting one sock. But if you have been watching the Knit California podcast for, I don't know, you know, the last 2 years or so since I've been making this, you may have like been a part of my sock knitting journey. I really tried like 2 years ago to like get into socks, and it didn't go well. I basically knit one whole sock on a camping trip a couple years ago, and it was too small, and I never knit the second one. Well, one of the Ireland Memories colorways is a self-striping colorway. Spoiler alert! And I just kept thinking, like, I want to knit this into a sock. I had talked to Rachel and she was like, send me the skein, like I'll crank it for you so that you don't have to knit it. And I was like, I will keep that in mind. That is a really good option. But for some reason I just had this pull that I wanted to like knit the sock myself. So I'm knitting the sock. I can't show you the colorway yet, so we're gonna have to go into black and white mode, okay? Okay, I'm like really proud of this too, okay? Let me show you where I'm at. Ta-da! Here's the whole leg of the first sock, and when I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and couldn't go back to sleep, I knit the heel. So this is a slip stitch heel flap and gusset, and yeah, I'm back at the part where I'm, well, I think I'm knitting, technically this is the gusset now that I'm knitting, right? The part that like, you do the decreases to get to the foot. Yeah, that's where I'm at. But I'm using just Summerly Knits I'm So Basic School of Sock pattern that I've had in my library for years. I had tried to knit these socks in the past and like didn't go well. And I think what happened was like, I was trying to knit the wrong size. So I sized up to the size large. I even added a couple more stitches onto my cast on so that the cuff and up here is actually like, I think 75 stitches instead of 72. And then I did 2 rounds of decreases. So I'm at 71 stitches here. The pattern says for the size large it should be 72. So I was like, you know what, close enough, whatever. I have tried this on, well, before the heel, I tried it on and it was fitting really nicely. So I'm really like hopeful that this is gonna work and that it's gonna fit. So I'm using 2.75 millimeter needles, a US 2. This is the smallest needle size that I have in my interchangeable set. I do have tips for a US 1, but they're the mini connectors for the Chaogu cables, and I don't have a mini cable. Oh my gosh, I remember when I bought those and I was so mad. Anyways, I'm making this work, okay? And I figured, you know what? If this sock doesn't fit, at least I have knit it and I can like find my gauge and moving forward I can have that knowledge to, like, you know, figure out the measurements that I really need for my foot, you know, do the whole perfect fit sock thing. So that's where I'm at. I wish you could see this in person, but colorway reveals will start towards the end of September, so very soon you will be able to see this. Okay, let's come out of, oh, I will say, it's a contrast color heel also, so there's 2 Ireland colorways in this sock. But yeah, soon, very soon, okay? We can come out of black and white mode now. Hello, welcome back to color. Yeah, I'm just really proud of myself for knitting a sock, and I'm really enjoying knitting it. I don't want to like jinx myself, but I feel like after I finish this pair, like I really do feel like I might cast on a second pair after that. I've got a ton of sock sets in here. And so yeah, I would love to knit some of these up into actual socks. So we'll see. As always, I'll keep you posted. Okay, let's move on. I'm working on a new design. Yes, I'm still working on the Palm Springs tank, but I'm working on a new design. So let's talk about it. The yarn that I'm using for this new design, this is so not my color, okay? This bright red, fire engine red, is from Dusty Yarn Co. Guys, I just love Dusty Yarn Co. so much, okay? All of her yarn. This is the colorway HRH HGH. This was from, they had like a playlist collection. I think it's a song or an album. I should double check that so that I can properly explain to you the meaning behind this color. But this is her classic DK base. It's the same base that I'm using for my stripe pipe sweater. So 100% superwash merino, 246 yards per 100 grams. And it's red because the design that I'm working on is inspired by a sweater that Taylor Swift wore to a Kansas City Chiefs game last season. It was the last playoffs game before they went to the Super Bowl. That red sweater, I've been obsessed with it. I think we were all kind of obsessed with it when she wore it. I know a lot of people started knitting modifications to other sweater designs at that time to like knit up the same sweater. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to like modify someone else's pattern. I just want to like make a pattern for that sweater. The sweater that she wore is actually from a brand called, okay, the brand is called Guest in Residence, and this is Gigi Hadid's like clothing brand. And they're all of her like designs and sweaters that they sell are 100% cashmere, okay? So it's kind of fun. I mean, Gigi and Taylor are good friends, so it's really cool to see that. And it means like I'm basically like trying to recreate a sweater that exists in the world but like doesn't have a pattern for it, and is $700, by the way. So while, you know, hand-dyed yarn is expensive, if you knit my pattern that I will have eventually with hand-dyed yarn, it'll definitely be less than $700. So girl math, savings, right? Anyways, yes, and I'm knitting it in the classic red that Taylor wore on the field to the game. It's a Chiefs color. Anyways, I'm really excited about it. This is not my color at all. I am not a fire engine red girl. But fun fact, when I was in high school, our like class, we had class colors and every class got to vote on their color, and our class color was red and I didn't like it, but we had really cute like Superwoman, I went to an all-girls school, so like Superwoman like red shirts, and I loved wearing that shirt. I felt like I looked really cute in it. So I think with just like, you know, a little bit maybe more of a heavy hand on my makeup when I wear this, like it won't totally wash me out. And it is going to be a statement piece. So like, this is the whole thing with like color analysis, is like, yes, you're finding your colors that like make you pop and make you stand out, but if there's a color that you want to wear, just wear it. And then, you know, enhance your makeup a little bit so that you don't look washed out, or just live with it and be happy with what you're wearing. Anyways, if you want to get your color analysis done, I also have an affiliate link for Created Colorful in the description box down below. Loved mine. I'm a cool summer. No. I'm a soft summer, okay? Anyways, this is besides the point. This was a tangent. Let me show you what I've actually been working on, okay? I have been swatching. I'm sorry about my one little weird alfalfa hair here, but I have been swatching. Okay, this was the first swatch that I made in the same, this is actually the Bachelorette colorway from my stripe pipe sweater extra that I had. And so I just wanted to like, the first thing was figuring out how many like stitches on each side of this like knit row do I want to have, and so I figured that out. And then I cast this on and knit on this yesterday because I was like gonna start, this was like the back panel, beginning of my back panel for my size, and then I was like, this looks really big. I feel like I casted on too many stitches here, and I don't think this is the correct increase rate, because if I just like kept increasing at this rate, it's not giving me the shoulder slope rate that I want it to be at. I want it to be more like this, right? So it follows this slope of the shoulders instead of going like this. So I need to change that. I need to change the increase rate. But it was really fun to like start working on this yesterday. I've been really inspired because football season is back. The first game, the Kansas City Chiefs played in the very first game of the season. Taylor was there. She wore this amazing outfit, and I was like, we're back, baby, we're back. So I gotta work on my Taylor Swift football sweater. And of course, every time I think about like those photos that they took, you know, all the video footage from that game when she was wearing this sweater, basically all I can think about is her song, The Alchemy, because I feel like that song was written about like this championship game and then like the Super Bowl game, and so that's all I can think about when I work on this, when I think about this. So this is going to be called the Alchemy Pullover, and I'm really excited about it. So obviously more to come. I hope all my Swiftie knitters are going to be really excited about this, as I am. I've already talked with a couple of people who are like, oh my god, I've been wanting to like knit a sweater like that. So yeah, I'm writing a pattern. It's coming. I don't know. I would love for it to come out in like January, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to like get the whole pattern knit up and written with enough time to like test for 3 months before January at this point. So I'm just gonna play it by ear. I'm not gonna like stress about this pattern. I don't want to like rush it. I really want to make sure I get the grading and the sizing as accurate as I can before it goes out to testers, because, you know, of everything that I learned from the California sweater test knit. So yeah, that's it. I feel like I need to do like a Taylor Swift cheerleading cheer because I'm working on a Taylor Swift inspired sweater. Anyways, okay, that's it. That's my Alchemy Pullover news. And I do have some spinning, so let's talk about my spinning. I have started spinning a new project. I got this bat. I'm gonna have to put photos up because the bat is all, you know, torn apart and prepped, and the bobbin is still on my spinning wheel. I don't want to like take it off because it's like in the middle of the spin. So I'm gonna put like photos up so you can see what I'm talking about. I will show you this one little nest so you can see the color. So when I went to Flock, I went into Kira Wiggins' booth and I was just drawn in by all the braids that she had. And when I was looking around, I noticed she had hand spun skeins in this colorway. And this was her Flock exclusive Pink Pony Club colorway. And I was admiring her skeins, and she said, oh, I have fiber in that colorway too. It's sold out here, but I have a few more bats at home that I can mail to you after Flock if you're interested. And I said, yes, I'm interested. I really love this color. So I just got this in the mail this week, and this is what I'm spinning up. So this is my first time spinning, number one, from a bat. Number two, an art bat. Like, I still feel like a brand new baby spinner. I have only spun 1, 2, 3, like 4 other braids in my whole life this year, since April. So I don't really know like why I just decided I was gonna spin an art bat as number 5. But I did. I am learning some things, and I'm also attempting to make a whole little spinning vlog about the journey as well. But so yeah, I have prepped all of my fiber, and I have spun up 2 of these little nests so far, and it's looking fine. It's looking how all of my spinning is looking so far. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna try and do, like, get back into the rhythm of doing like a little bit every day. So I don't want to, like, you know, race through this really quickly and then, like, you know, not spin again for 2 months, because the last time I spun, I was looking in my spinning diary, was in July. Mid-July is when I spun. It was during the like beginning of Tour de Fleece. And I want to get back into it because like spinning for me is like a very relaxing hobby, and I feel like I need to relax a little bit more sometimes. Sometimes with knitting, like, yeah, knitting is relaxing, but like spinning, I'm like really focused, and you know, you're going through the motions of the pedaling and the drawing, and it is really relaxing for me. So I just want to put myself in that space more often. Hopefully a little bit every single day. Maybe not every single day, but a little bit. As much as I can every day. A few times a week. We'll see. But yeah. I had like I mentioned I had a really crazy week this week at work, and so I took Friday off yesterday, and I was like, I had just like all this like creative energy spilling out of me, so I started, you know, I did the Alchemy Pullover test swatch, I worked on my cowl a little bit, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna spin. And so I prepped it all, I talked to the camera about it, so that's what's happening. It was fun. It was nice. Yeah, okay, so that's my spinning update, and that's all the like knitting and spinning that I have to talk to you about. So let's get into the last section of today's podcast and chat. I want to talk to you about 2 things that I'm reading and watching. So reading, I just finished reading Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I loved this book. 5 stars for me, full stop. When I mentioned this on the last episode, I had mentioned it had really like From Blood and Ash vibes by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So if you've read From Blood and Ash, it also gives me ACOTAR vibes, okay? I'm not saying it's exactly the same as A Court of Thorns and Roses, but the vibes are there, okay? There's fae, there's a human, badass female main character, okay? If you've read those 2 series, you can probably guess where this is going. Anyways, Quicksilver is the first book. The second book in the series is coming out in October. I need to look up how many books there are supposed to be total in the whole series, but I really, really liked it. I don't want to like hype it up too much and then your expectations drop when you start reading it, but I personally really liked it. Okay. And then I realized that the From Blood and Ash series slash Flesh and Fire series, there's a new book that just came out in that series, which I wanted to start reading, but then I was looking up like reading order to make sure that I was reading the correct book, and Jennifer L. Armentrout has a whole new series called like the Awakening series, and people were saying that you should read the first book that is out in this series before you read the next Blood and Ash book that just came out. So anyways, I'm reading that. I just started it last night, and let me tell you what it's called because I can't remember. It's called Fall of Ruin and Wrath. Anyways, the cover has a sword and wings, so you know, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I love fantasy books so much. I'm like, Quicksilver really like brought me back into the fantasy mood. Like for a lot of summer I was reading, you know, Emily Henry. I read all of the Abby Jimenez trio, Just for the Summer, Part of Your World, Yours Truly. And then I read the Summer Skies and Close Knit by Jenny Colgan, and I loved all of those little like romance, contemporary, fun books. But I'm really happy now and excited to get back into my little fantasy world. I feel like it's perfect timing as we're like heading into September, just trying to get into fall if the weather will permit us. But yeah, really, really fun. Okay, and then watching, there's this new reality TV show, game show on USA. I'm watching it on Peacock, I think. Is it on Peacock? Okay, yeah, it's not on Paramount. I think it's on Peacock. It's called The Anonymous, and it's really good. It's kind of like, it's from the same producers as The Circle and The Traitors, and I love both of those shows. The Traitors is like, I think probably like same tier for me as like Survivor and Big Brother and The Traitors. The Anonymous, so far, I've watched 4 episodes. That's all that's out yet. Seems like it's like maybe on a lower tier, kind of like The Circle. But it's really good. Xavier, who won Big Brother a couple seasons ago, is on it. Sandra from Survivor, her daughter Nina, is on it. I never watched the Australian Survivor series that she was on, but she's a gamer, so she's really good too. And yeah, it's just Andy from the guy from the Fire Festival creator and documentaries is on it. That's hilarious. He's so funny. Anyway, so I'm really enjoying that. If you like reality TV competition shows, you will probably like this one as well. Okay. That's all I've got for reading and watching. Video wise, I am looking to film my fall knitting plans tomorrow, so that should come up later this week also. Ooh, if I can film 3 videos this weekend, we'll see. But I really want to get my fall knitting plans video up and out there because I have seen everyone else putting theirs out there. I feel like I'm behind at this point, but also like it's 105 degrees outside. I can't really be thinking about fall, but I am like in my fall knitting. I feel like I have been fall knitting like all of summer with the California sweater. I guess that's just how it is when you're designing. You're trying to always like get ahead of the seasons, but that's okay. Fall knitting plans coming. And yeah, okay, last reminders. Let's see here. My Ravelry wish list. If you would like to support me and support the channel in any way, I have my Ravelry wish list in the description box down below. Someone bought me a pattern off of my Ravelry wish list 2 weeks ago. Thank you so much. I was gifted the Market Henley pattern by Claire Jackson. I do have yarn in my stash already picked out for wanting to knit this. Let me show you. Okay, actually I have options. My initial, like my first thought when I was thinking about what I wanted to knit this in, it's a fingering weight all over like waffle texture stitch drop shoulder Henley pattern, is this like dark purple from Golden Hour Knitwear. This was from her Princess Diaries collection. It's called I Write Soaps, and I think this would be really gorgeous in that sweater. But then when I like look at my yarn shelves, this yarn is right next to these two yarns, so I feel like these are potentially also options. So this one is Hedgehog Fibers in the colorway Perk. It's just a nice light purple. And then I also have Red Door Fiber Studio in the colorway Unrequited Love. And this is actually a cashmere, an MCN yarn. So 80 superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. So one of these purples is going to be eventually my Market Henley. So I wanted to say thank you so much to whoever it was who gifted me that pattern. I really appreciate it. And I update my wish list all the time. So obviously no pressure to ever purchase something if you don't want to. But if you would like to support the channel in that way, the link is there. What else can you find in the video description box, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you. All of the information on the patterns and the yarn that I talked about today will always be in the description box down below. There's also a link if you would like to suggest a video that you might want to see me make. That is in the description box down below. And the link to Knit California on Facebook and Instagram and Ravelry is also in the description box down below. If you're not on Instagram but you are on Facebook, Knit California is also on Facebook. All the posts and reels that I make on Instagram automatically get cross-posted over to Facebook. I am trying to grow that page. It is very small right now, so if you are also on Facebook, you can go like and or follow that page. I don't know the correct terminology. It's all different. Everything is different. Last but not least, I am on a journey to 10K subscribers here on YouTube. We hit a big milestone last week with 6K subscribers, so thank you guys so much to everyone who is subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Maybe hit the bell so you'll be notified of all my future videos. Why does this matter? Well, for you, so that you always get my videos recommended to you to watch. For me, more subscribers means theoretically more people watching my videos, which means higher ad revenue for me, and also it means that my videos get recommended to other people who watch knitting content, knitting podcasts, knitting vlogs, knitting tutorials. They're typing in knitting, they might see one of my videos, and it brings more people to our community here, which is what I would love to do, is grow the community. So I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!